Hi, my name is Catherine Dolson. I am recording my persuasive speech, and here is my audience. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 adults. All right, I'm going to set this down, and I will begin. All right, why should Texas allow mental health days for students? So picture this. You are a student, you wake up, you have fever, you're in pain, you can't focus on your work. You know, what would you do? Most people would say you would stay at home, rest, call out. You know, that's the typical answer. So why is it when students wake up with anxiety, depression, grief, that they are told to go to school, push it aside, and keep going? That's not the right answer, and that's not correct. A lot of times people treat mental health as an excuse instead of as a health concern that it actually is. And it's so frustrating because mental health is just that, it's health. Students are expected to go to school and to learn while dealing with all kinds of mental crises that they're just not prepared to deal with. And Texas should allow mental health days because an approved excused mental health day can help a student in crisis, and support schools and legislation can help prevent much larger problem down the line. And if enacted with these policies to help prevent attendance from being abused. First, people need to stop treating mental health like it doesn't matter or like it's some made-up excuse. Mental health should be treated just as serious as a physical injury or as physical health. Texas already recognizes some mental health-related absences, but not all of them. And the number of states that allow for mental health days is only 12. 12 in all of the United States. Texas needs to do better. A panic attack, depression, grief, they don't always happen during school. Sometimes they happen before the school day ever even begins. Sometimes a student is trying not to just get out of school and they're actually facing a crisis. They just need to take a day to breathe, maybe talk to someone that they trust, and come back ready to learn. This is also about prevention. An excused mental health day could help prevent a bigger problem in the future. If someone keeps playing on a physical injury, it usually worsens. It's the same thing with mental health. It's no different. If a student is already dealing with grief and anxiety, it's not going to get better if they just keep pushing through it. It's going to get worse. It can affect how they sleep, how they focus, and even their behavior in school. Nationally, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported 39.7% of high school students experienced persistent sadness and hopelessness in 2023, and 28.5% experienced poor mental health, as stated by the CDC 2024. These numbers should be a warning and a wake-up call for the schools to do something before students reach their breaking point. Now, what about those who say that if mental health days are excused, students will just use it as an excuse to skip school? Well, that is a valid concern, but that does not stop the fact that we need to actually do this, and it doesn't prevent us from being able to help students who actually still need this. If legislators were to write the policy to include a limit, say, 5 per year, parent-guardian approval, or if repeated use seek a counselor, then we can limit those that would abuse the policy while still allowing those who need it access to it. Another limitation could be seeing the school counselor for mandatory follow-up after a mental health day has been taken, just to discuss why. Illinois already offers one model by allowing 5 excused mental health or behavioral health days requiring school support after repeated use. Illinois State Board of Education 2025. This shows that it's possible to provide mental health days that can be limited and connected to additional support for the students. Think of a student who just lost someone. We've all been there. And while they may still care about school, they aren't able to concentrate and their grades suffer. Having an approved mental health day would give them time to grieve, complete any makeup work necessary, and then return to school when they are mentally and emotionally ready. That kind of caring and empathetic response is what Texas should desire to have. It's what students deserve. Texas doesn't have to choose between being compassionate and being responsible. The balance of having limited, documented, and supported health can make great deals and great strides in supporting students in schools. We can no longer keep ignoring this problem. The Texas Education Agency says that approximately 1 in 6 school-aged youth experience mental illness that affects daily life, including academic achievement, as stated by the Texas Education Agency 2025. The U.S. Surgeon General also reminds us that mental health is an essential part of overall health, and mental health conditions are real, common, and treatable, as stated by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services 2025. So if schools and those who enact legislation say that they care about students' academic achievement, then they need to care about mental health and how it affects those achievements. And while mental health days won't fix everything, it is a good start. Texas schools still need counselors and trained staff that can handle any issues that happen while at school. The American Academy of Pediatrics explains that schools have become the largest provider of mental health services in many communities, especially where community-based providers are limited. American Academy of Pediatrics 2024. If schools are already carrying that responsibility, Texas needs to enact policies to help them respond to that load and that need. So what should Texas do? It should create a statewide rule that allows a limited number of mental health days that are excused. This plan should stipulate that the days require parental approval, be limited in number, and have required makeup work be submitted. Also, trigger a counselor if the absence becomes too frequent. Compassion and responsibility are balanced together in a real solution that could really impact our students. So in conclusion, Texas should allow mental health days because students can't be expected to learn well when they are emotionally overwhelmed. They should not be punished for taking care of their health. And it should bother us that students are excused for a physical illness, but not for a mental one, and are instead punished. This is not about giving students an opportunity to skip school and just party and have fun. It's about giving students a chance to take responsibility and deal with their mental issues that they are facing. It is the job of Texas lawmakers to create a balanced system that aids schools and students. Parents and students should advocate for this and not be afraid to use this policy. When a student cries for help, Texas should respond. Go back to my audience.